Hello, beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is, and what a beautiful night. And look at these monsters out here. No, there's not monsters out here. The trees are talking. Woo! There's a storm of brewing somewhere. So anyway, I'm being funny, but no, there was dark clouds somewhere. Anyway, I love you so much, and I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. And also, a big, huge thank you to all of you who have been here loving and supporting Starlight, and I hope all is well with all of you and your loved ones. So, and also on top of that is if anyone would like to send any love donations on my YouTube channel, you can through Cash App. And if you don't know what Cash App is, it's an app that you can download through Play Store, and that way it's easy. Starlight was able to figure it out, so if I can figure it out, you guys and girls can I had to YouTube it is how to do that, and it's very easy and very simple to be able to send anyone love donations, either to me or anybody. It could even be, a family member, whoever has Cash App. So anyway, I love you, and I will have my information here on my YouTube channel, my Cash App name, and you will have the Cash App name too, if anyone wants to send any love donations to Starlight. And I appreciate all the ones out there that have done in the past. So anyway, hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, don't forget you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus give me a thumbs up, and you can also leave a message down below, beep beep beep, and you can share my videos with your family, your friends. Don't forget to ring the notification bell, and you can check out my playlist. Plus, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. Today's video is about I love you, but I gotta let you go. There's times in our life, and I'm saying this because of we just had Valentine's Day yesterday, and this is around that time where the most breakups there are at around this time right here with Valentine's, because people can't fake it anymore. Because a lot of times it is what happens is that people get it's not an easy thing when going through a breakup with anyone, so all of us handle those kind of situations differently depending on the situation. This video is about people. You could say, I love you, but I gotta let you go. And this is not just for people who are in a romantic relationship. This is for anyone that you realize that things are not really working out with us anymore. You start finding out really who people are, because you start realizing that, oh my, you've been wearing a mask all this time. So anyway, through life, especially when you start out in most of your life, you're gonna always kind of believe everything you're told, and then as you go through life, you start kind of stepping back a little bit from putting yourself out there so much. And then there's some people, they're on a totally different way of doing things, where they say to themselves so much they don't even want to go out and communicate with anybody. They're afraid of everyone. They don't trust anyone. And it's wise not to trust people until they got to kind of prove themselves to you that they are honest. Number one, are these people being honest with you? So Starlight was that girl that always said, hey, I'll trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you. Well, then it's too late, right? Yeah, it's too late. You know, so you kind of have to test people out in this world, and it could be even your family. Yeah, your family. You know, and I've been going through stuff now for years now, waking up to this real reality of the stimulationist matrix that we're in. And you might not be awake and aware of really the stuff that can go on, even with your family. Or you might be that one that's noticing some strange things that you never noticed before, and now you're waking up to, what the heck, kind of thing, you know? Have you ever had one of those moments with your family, you're like, what the heck is going on, you know? And so you got to really protect yourself. There's a lot of times we surround ourselves with people that are not healthy for us. They're not healthy for us. You know, a lot of times, you know, I hung out with a lot of people throughout my life, you know, and they were not good for me, you know? And you know what? I spent a lot of time with these people. What were they doing every day, Starlight? They were drinking every day, smoking pot every day. Here's what it was. Coffee in the morning, cigarette smoking. Every day was a party. These are some of the people that I spent time with when I was younger. Every day was a party. They didn't go out to work. They could have at a certain time, but some of the people that I spent time with when I was younger, they were thieves. You couldn't trust them. And so if they did work for a company, somewhere along the line, more than likely they got fired because they were lying or stealing about, you know, at their job. But Starlight wasted so many years of I was working, you know, on the weekends, or when, you know, if I was in the neighborhood, and that's how this worked, is that I lived in the neighborhood. I knew this person for years, or these people for years. So you know, there's people like that we have, and you might have fun with these people, like you know, like Starlight did a long time ago, is, you know, having a drink or two on the weekend with them and smoking marijuana, you know, maybe after work or whenever you had time off. And then you got to look at what's going on. Look at the big picture. Look at the big picture, you know? And that's what Starlight wasn't doing. I didn't see it as a big deal, but I was frustrated because many times I was lied to and being ripped off, you know, with my money. I would go over, you know, the extra mile for some people. They didn't have a car, they didn't have a license, and it's a good thing they didn't. So, whoops, my phone's ready to, it's just kind of teetering here. So, you really got to look at the big picture as far as, okay, what are they doing in their life? And what are you doing with yours? And it could be vice versa, you know. Are they working? You're like, no, they're not. Well, how do they make money? Well, they get the government money, or they got a disability, or, you know, Social Security or something like that. And so are they working on themselves? Oh, no, they're not working on themselves. You know, there's people, they get locked in, you know. There's like this particular person that I knew a long time ago, he's no longer here, that person passed away, you know, is he was like stuck in the 60s and the 70s, you know, in that time frame. That's where he was. You know, he wasn't even listening to new music, that he was in that partying stage, you know, the good old days when he was younger, and he was stuck. And you got to really be careful, because when you spend time and your energy around those people, you know, it's keeping you stuck. Where that time that you could have by working on a dream, having some plans for your future, it's being wasted by spending time with people that aren't doing nothing. Nothing. That's it, nothing. This person here that I know that's no longer here, they didn't even have to go to work. They had a hard time just cleaning up their house. Actually, I used to actually go to this person's house and, get paid to clean their house. But they weren't out working. So you really got to really figure out the kind of people that are healthy for you to spend time with. And what do you talk about with the people that you're with? Is it, a bunch of stuff from the news, and there's things that, on the news, if it's a low frequency, low vibrational stuff, you really got to watch out for that. There's people that's all they talk about. That's all they talk about is the bad stuff that's going on in the news. They don't have a solution, and they add more fuel to the fire by, the worst case scenarios and, blowing it out of proportion with what is going on. But they don't have any solutions. They don't have any answers to any of it, and then they send their fears onto you, and it spreads like a virus, a fear virus. Like when we were going through COVID, that was like a fear virus, Wow. I bring that topic up all the time with people, when I want to bring that up, because that's a great topic, is that what they did with putting all that fear out on the radios, on the billboards. I mean, like, it was all over the place. The program, getting people so afraid they don't even want to leave their houses. Now I don't really see very many people at all wearing a mask. So be grateful, and that's why I'm not going to go on that trail there, because I want to just stay focused on this topic here. So even like you might be in a relationship with somebody right now, and the thing is about sorry, I'm letting you go, I love you, but I gotta let you go, is that's the whole thing. We love these people. That's the hard part. That's the pain of it all, is that we love these people. You might even have family members out there that, they're not cheering you on. They're not supporting you in the things that you're doing. But what they want to do is control you. They want to tell you what to do. They want to tell you what you should eat. They want to tell you, what you ought to do for your job. It's okay to have people in your life that mean that they're the ones that want to see you make it. They could give advice and all that stuff, but you know what? It's up to us in the long run what we want to do. I can't believe it. A long time ago, it is so funny. I don't smoke marijuana. It's been like more than a year that I have not smoked marijuana. And there's people that didn't like that I smoked marijuana, didn't like anything about marijuana. But you know what they wanted me to do? Go work at a factory that they were going to build that was going to be growing marijuana. And they're like, because you know what? It's because they wanted me to live near them. And they knew that I didn't want to live in that area because there was no jobs, nothing that I would be happy with. And see how people can be? Hey, she likes smoking. At that time, I was smoking marijuana. I didn't hide it from my family. I'm an adult. I can do what I want to do. And isn't it something how people will tell you to do things because really they want to control you, because they want to, they want you where they are. They don't care if you're happy. I didn't want to live in that area because it was a depressing area. There's nothing there. That area that I'm talking about is way in the past, it's like time traveling, where there's all different levels as far as where you live, where do you see yourself, in that area. There's horse and buggies out there. Not a lot going on. The technology, like at a library, and the businesses out there is so behind where, like, the technology here. So, and there's nothing there. So you got to really be careful. Do what you want to do, not because, hey, we want you to live in this area. So, hey, yeah, we don't, we disagree about marijuana. We don't do it ourselves. We don't like that you smoke it. But, hey, they got a job right here because we want you here. We figured, yeah, you would like that job there. So you got to listen to yourself. You got to really hear people out. Why are they saying what they want? What are they saying and why are they saying it? Is it to benefit you or is it to benefit them? And is that where you want to go? I got people right now trying to control me and tell me what to do. You shouldn't be out there. It's not safe for you. But there's people that they go and do stuff, and there's people that, hey, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I don't like what you're doing. But they don't care. They go do what whatever they want to do. But then they want to control other people. They don't like to hear, when you give it back to them and say, hey, you know what? You're doing what you do, and you love doing what you do. And if I told you not to do it, you'd say, no, I love doing what I'm doing. I don't need to listen to you. Well, guess what? Same here. I don't have to listen to people that are telling me what to do. Because they're not about my happiness. They're about their own peace and happiness. So, you got to really think of the kind of people. Are they there to help you out? Are they offering things in your life or giving you suggestions that is really going to help you out? Or is it going to benefit them more? Because, if you stay around, that's a car. They don't have a car. If you stay around, maybe they can put you to work. They can use you for different things. Hey, now that you're here, whoops, sorry, Starlight's got my... So that's with family. You got to be careful. Don't let your family control you. And there's people that are not working on themselves. And you got to really understand the time that you spend with people. Are they wasting your time, taking their time away from your dreams and the things that you can create in your reality for the future and get, you should have like some kind of plan for the future, even though we need to stay in the present moment. You don't want to just twiddle your thumbs and let life pass you by. So you don't want people hogging up all your time and being used. Don't, be a people pleaser, a people pleaser by doing what everybody, wants you to do. And are they there for you when you need something? Or can they even help you with what you need? And in relationships, like I said, this is a time right now you could say, hey, you know what? We've been down this road too many times. I've given you so many chances. I try to communicate with you. You've blocked me off. I try to communicate you and you twist things around on me. I try to talk to you, but you never have time. You don't want to hear what I got to say. That's why these people, they don't want to hear it. Because you know what? A lot of people don't want to let relationships go when they're in them because they need you for stuff, like and it doesn't have to be women all the time, because the way the world is these days, it's changed a lot. It's not just women cleaning houses these days. Men, there's some men out there that they want to do the 50-50 thing. Hey, I'll help out, I'll do these jobs here in the house and you can do these jobs here. But there's times that people, they don't want to let you go because they don't want to do it all on their own. They might not even care about being with you. There could be no joy and peace in the house, and when you have kids, they're not doing their part. It's, you don't want to be a garbage can where they're putting everything on you, they're dumping everything on you. They're dumping the chores on you, the cooking on you, the kids on you, paying the bills on you. What are they doing? This happens a lot. This happens a lot. They're out doing this. They're out having fun with their friends. They're home, you know, and this really does happen, so I'm sorry, I'm not here to, you know, they're watching football. You're like, hey, can I have a hand? And there's crickets. They won't even get up and help out, you know, because they're got caught up into something. And it could even be women, you know, that the guy might need the female. Where is she? What is she doing? She's spending time with her family all the time. You're the guy, and she's dumping all this stuff on you. She's, you know, there's people that will do this, or she's working overtime, or he's working overtime. I went through this. They didn't need any more money. They were escaping a situation they didn't want to be in. Sometimes when you're too real with somebody, they can't handle it. When you're with somebody that is wearing a mask and they're being fake and you're being real, they can't be around it. How can they? So they find ways of escaping. They're like, you know, it makes them uncomfortable because it gets them feel guilty, and it gets them to, you know, it puts conviction in their hearts and their minds, and they don't want to be around. And so going to work and making extra money, hey, every time you come home, the house, everything is all spick and span. Don't have to cook, don't have to clean, everything. The yard's all done. Hey, I'll just keep going out and, you know, making more money. So is the money more important than a relationship? Where's maybe you want more time with the guy that you're with. Maybe you want more, you know, have that where's the family time? Well, hey, they're too busy out making money. No, they're not. They're escaping. They use money as a tool to say, hey, we need to get more money, when that was not the case. They're escaping responsibilities at the house, as far as a husband goes, or a wife goes, or as far as keeping the house clean and doing the yard work. You know? So you got to really watch out. Why are they working extra time? Where's the money going? Do they need that kind of money? You know? Who takes care of the bills? Do you know what goes on with the bills? I'll tell you what, people will leave you in the dark. You don't know how much money they're making. Do you even know how much all the bills cost? How much money, you know, do you need to take care of everything in the house? And then they're saying that they need to go out and, you know, work extra hours. So those are things that, it's not being bad by checking those things out yourself and say, you know what, how much is, you know, I'm going to check his pay stubs out from now on, see how much money is he making, you know, after the tax, they take the tax money out, you know, how much money are they making? Do they really need that other job? Maybe they're having 2 jobs, you know, hey, you know, I need 2 jobs now. But you're there in a relationship taking care of everything, and they don't have no responsibility at all in the relationship. They're not being the protector. They might be providing, but all the other stuff is not there. It's all empty. So those are kind of people that you gotta really check this stuff out, you know. Do they love me? They're never there for me. How could they love you, right? They're always gone somewhere. They always got an excuse that I gotta be out of the house. That's an indicator that they're not meant for you. It's a hard pill to swallow. You know, you gotta be careful. There's people all around that are wearing a mask, you know, around their friends, their family, you know, and you know, it is really important when you're in a relationship to spend a lot of time with their family, to spend a lot of time with their friends. You know why? People will rat people out. I just was talking to my son and his wife today. Not that I said anything bad, but, you know, I like getting my son scared. I'm like, ooh, we're going to talk about childhood stuff, you know, when you were a kid. Ooh, oh no, what is mom gonna bring up? You know, my wife is sitting here. Hey, do you remember when? Haha. So mommy's gonna have fun, and his wife is sitting there. So I didn't say anything, but it was a funny story. It was a true story, but is that you gotta spend time with their family, because there's family members, they are helping you out by letting you know the bullshit that's going on. They know the person that you're with is not good. So don't try to avoid spending time with their family. Those are the ones that could give you clues and tips on what's going on. But anyway, I love you, but I gotta leave you, you know, like, and that's what, you know. Or there's another thing is, I love you from a distance, is that, you know what, I can't spend this, you know, this relationship is not working out. I can't do this anymore. It's too painful to go on anymore. This is about what this journey here, I'll tell you, this is life. It's a lesson. They were just a lesson, you know, for you to learn. And like family, friends, you know, loved ones, really think, why are they in your life? What are they providing for you? And what are you doing for them? What is, you know, see what the scales look like, you know? Are they trying to escape the relationship by not being responsible, by being in it? Do they love you enough when you talk to them that you're like, wow, they do love me, because you know what? They're making changes. They're actually working with me on this. They're not leaving me in the dark. It's not easy communicating with a loved one, anybody, and saying, hey, you know what, this is not working out. We need to change some things because I'm not having this anymore. But if you've done that how many times already, and they're still not changing, you gotta figure that out on your own. Are they worth putting up with anymore? And there's people that will tell you that they love you, but they're not in love with you. Are they in love with you if you're in a relationship? Because you know what? I love my sister. I love my brother. It's not the same. I can love a friend, you know, like a deep, intimate relationship with a friend, you know, someone that you want, you know, you are, you know, wanting to take it to the next level. That's a beautiful love right there, that you can love them and be in love with them, or in a higher love with them. But is the person with you? Ask them, don't ask them, do you love me? Are you in love with me? Are you in love with me? What are you willing to do to keep this going? You know? Because if they don't take any action, you got to figure that out on your own. I can't tell you what to do, you know, and you might have to make that choice of saying, you know what, I love you, but I got to let you go, you know? And don't worry, this is what a lot of people do. But Starlight, I can't leave the person. Who's going to do the dishes? That means I got to move out. Yeah. Yeah. But don't let that stop you. Have a plan. And anyway, I love you so much. I love you, but I gotta let you go. You got to really know who you're dealing with. Do they got your back? Is it with a knife? Or are they there to help you to get through life? And they do whatever it takes to help you to get through in love. And they're helping, they're willing to pick up a load and help out instead of putting it all on you, because that happens in a lot of relationships. They put so much on the other person. It stresses the other person out so much you know, it could cause some health issues in their life and they might not even realize. The doctor will tell them, hey, are you been stressed out? Sometimes we get so used to being poured onto all the time, all the responsibilities poured on. It might be an everyday norm. You might think this is an everyday norm thing. I'm not stressed out. You might not even be aware that you're stressed out, but your body is telling you something. You better listen to your body. What is your body telling you? That's what you gotta watch out for. We've been so used to just putting up with shit that we don't even realize that those are your body's got signs. You can't sleep at night, you know. You're having all these problems with your body. You're going to the doctors, you know, all this stuff going on. Can't eat, you know. So I love you so much. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus give me a thumbs up, and you can leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. Plus, you could share my videos with your family or friends, and don't forget the notification bell, and check out my playlist. And you can also find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.